Yo, what up guys? This is going to be a short video. I've been getting a lot of comments about what gear I'm using, my gym setup and all of that. So I'm just going to show you guys what I was using in my latest videos. This is what I'm wearing right now is up to date. Like, this is what I'm using, and it's nothing special. I just have a crafted helmet, got really lucky on a resilient perk as well as the enfeebling poison shot. Now from my understanding, a lot of the perks don't actually work correctly, so don't take this for granted. Like, I mean, don't take my word on it, but like a lot of stuff doesn't work. Like, I heard enfeebling poison shot only works if you hit them directly with the poison shot. So I'm not too sure on what exactly works, but I do know the perks that you want is the poison shot. You probably want rapid shot as well, and you probably want the penetrating one as well. So those three are probably your top priority in terms of gear. Now my chest piece, as you can tell, is still the faction gear. I think it's like, honestly, in my opinion, just getting the faction gear will put you at a competitive level with everybody else. I think the most important thing, honestly, is the weapons. But yeah, so there's my helmet, there's my chest, my gloves. I bought these recently. I know the evade shot doesn't really help me with anything, but I wanted a 600 gear score item, and it gives me, you know, reduced max cooldowns. Does not have resilient on it, which is kind of huge, so that's something to pay attention to. And then I have 2 pieces of void bent, and the reason I went 2 pieces of void bent was for the resilient fix. I wanted to get 2 pieces that for sure had resilient and were 600 gear score, so I decided to go with these 2 pieces instead of a medium chest piece. So I'm still in the light category with medium legs, medium boots, and then the rest is light, and that keeps me in the light category. In terms of the amulet, I have this, and then the ring, and then we got the earring. So that earring, honestly, is like, it's just too good. The only annoying part is you have to keep taking it off and on whenever you load into new places or die, because it always glitches and doesn't give you the regenerating health, which is pretty huge on it. So and a lot of people, they honestly ask me what arrows I use. I just use the best I can get, you know. So the Rythmn, I make them myself. I'm an engineer, so you know, I figured these, you know, you always want to be using these over everything. Now for the weapon, I do have a pretty good bow, a 592, and it's got enchanted with refreshing move. And in all honesty, I really wanted enchanted, and then I wanted maybe like vicious, or I forget the other one, keen maybe. When I got this and I had a refreshing move, I really was kind of like hesitant on using it, but it actually makes your cooldowns come back so much faster because you're constantly throwing light arrows or shots at people, and the abilities come by really quick. So I think this is really good to use. But yeah, and then for the rapier, I'm still using the 580 legendary quest 1. I think it's really good because of the sundering riposte. So every time you hit somebody with that riposte, it puts a rend on them. That's why you see me roll around and get that huge crit on the back, and it just gives me such a big damage boost right there. So my gear's nothing special. I am using all onyx gems, and I know these were bugged before and they were giving you like raw mitigation basically, which was amazing, but they fixed them supposedly from what I know. But I still mostly die to physical, any kind of melee, so I still prefer using full onyx in here. If you die, you know, more to mages, then obviously you probably want to go like with diamond, but I stick with onyxes. I even have onyxes all in my accessories, so that's just a huge thing for me. For the bow, I'm using Gambit, you know, 15% damage when your stamina's not full. I'm always rolling, so I'll always have that 15% damage up. I'm not sure of any other gyms that are probably better for my playstyle, at least. And then, you know, anytime that I go into like an outpost rush or just open world PvP, I always use a honing stone, and I'll always use like constitution food. Right now, my health is so low because I am actually testing out full dexterity builds. This is not what I'm actually, I usually can get around like 460, I think, dexterity. So this is not what I'm currently doing. I'm just messing around with like a glass cannon build, which I'm not sure if I'm a complete fan of. It's very tough to play glass cannon, in my opinion. But I figured I want to try it out. That is why I have this extra set when I put on full void bent and I go full medium. I was messing around with full medium. This is also a good set to go with. It's just full void bent. You can get obviously full medium faction gear and you'll be just fine. But the medium playstyle is a little weird. You get 4 dodges, which is not bad, right? 4 complete dodges is a lot. It gives you the iframe. But when you're fighting against melee, they can kind of, like, when they swing, they have that lunge with the great axe. If you dodge with just this little hop from the medium set, it doesn't give you enough distance. They just kind of like lunge to you, so it's like it doesn't really work in that way. I think medium is really good versus other ranged, versus other mages, bows, and that kind of stuff. But versus melee, I'm not too sure if I'm you know, keen on using this over my light playstyle. Now that's my medium set. I'm still experimenting with that. I don't use it much often. I only use this honestly when I'm in like group or war type PvP. When I'm doing my solo stuff and outpost rush for myself 1vx's, I love to be in light. It gives you so much mobility. It's kind of nuts. I think that's pretty much it. I don't have anything special. The talents that I'm currently using, this is what I want to use. Honestly, I use this for war and I use this for my regular everyday PvP. And I know a lot of you guys are gonna think like, why don't you get this heavy attack and this other heavy attack perk or trait? I honestly almost never heavy attack, and the reason I don't is because like by the time that you charge up a heavy attack, and if you miss that heavy attack, you just lose out on so much damage. Like, don't get me wrong, you can hit for a lot. If you hit off a heavy attack, that's 50% damage, right? But it's just not worth, in my opinion. And the last one, I took out concussion because I don't really go for headshots. Headshots you don't really want to aim for. You want to aim for like the body kind of thing, because it's so hard in general to hit arrows, you know, with the way the hitbox is. So I don't take concussion at all. I picked up Unbreakable Focus, which gives me 10% less damage while aiming, because regardless, you're going to take damage while aiming, and you might as well take 10% less, right? I think that's about it over here, and I haven't changed up anything really on the left side, as you can see here. I do love to have the 2 haste buffs. That's awesome whenever you're doing that. But yeah, so my gear isn't anything special. I'm trying to see if there's anything I really switch out depending on the situation, but those are my 2 main gear sets. So I have my medium set, and then obviously I have my light set that I use, which in my opinion is still my preferred playstyle. It's just whatever you I guess you prefer. I do also have a spear that's legendary. It did not roll the best stat. It has 20 dex, 10 intellect, but it's still really nice. It's a really nice spear, and I like using it from time to time. Have it leveled up to 20, so I probably will make a video on it soon, because it is a fun playstyle. It's just different than obviously using the rapier. But yeah, I think that's about it. Hopefully I did not miss anything. In terms of my stats before I do in the video, I usually get, when I'm playing my light set, I usually get 300 dex, literally flat 300, and then I pump the rest into constitution. And with food buff, I can usually get like around 160, 170 constitution. So that gives me this 3rd bubble, and it's just, you just take so much less damage. I think honestly glass cannon builds are very niche, and depending on what you're doing, it could work out, but it's not as good as you would think. It's not like my damage doubles because I'm going full glass cannon. So you know, you figure out your playstyle. Maybe you like being glass cannon, maybe you like being tankier. In my honest opinion, I think my best playstyle is full light with 300 dex and the rest in a con, and it gives me around 11k HP, I think. So I'm pretty beefy from all my Resil and Onyxes and just like all the perks. So that is how I survive and take so many hits and still dish out a good amount of damage. Now obviously without the perks like this, with the, you know, heavy attacks dealing more damage and the headshot multipliers, you're not going to get those big numbers. Like if you're looking for like the 6,000 to 8,000 crits, you're not going to get those with this build. This is more of like sustained constant DPS build. So you're not really going to get any huge numbers. Don't get me wrong, I still hit really hard, but I just don't get the huge numbers that you're probably thinking about getting. But yeah, I think that's about it. If you guys have any questions, let me know. But I think I covered just about everything. I do get Opportunist. I forget what that one, Emerald I think is what it is for the Rapier. So that's probably what I think is best on that one for the Execute. But yeah, I honestly think that's about it. I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss anything, and I don't think I do. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be happy to answer them. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.